We all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's what we do with that time that determines our productivity. I frequently discuss stock iPhone apps on this channel, but I also use other apps. So in this video, I'll talk about 10 apps that I use on my iPhone every day to enhance my productivity and accomplish more in my business. I'll include links to all of the apps in the video description. Please note that these links are not affiliate links. I'm not affiliated with any of the apps that I recommend, except for Dropbox, who is partnering with me on this video, but more about them in a few moments. Okay, let's get into it. One of the main use cases for generative AI is asking complicated questions and receiving straightforward answers. While most AI tools can do this really well, I've yet to find a tool that does it as well as Perplexity does. Perplexity is a really big deal in the world of AI, openly competing with Google to dominate search. And with investments from people like Jeff Bezos, they may actually have a chance of succeeding. When using the app, the necessary features are located in the bottom 10th of the screen. The middle consists of a rotating carousel of random questions covering various topics. If a question catches your interest, you can tap on it to get your answer. To ask a question, you can either type it in the Ask Anything box or use the microphone icon to speak your question in natural language. The app handles voice input exceptionally well in my experience. From there, you can ask any question that you want, and Perplexity will do its best to understand and provide an answer. Essentially, that's what this app does, but it's because it does it so very well that I'm including it in this list. For instance, I could ask, what are the most exciting tech categories to watch in 2024? Perplexity quickly returns with an answer and lists its sources at the top. You can tap on these site links to view the articles, or tap on Show All to see a complete list. I like that they start with their sources because it gives me confidence that the answers aren't just being plucked out of thin air when it doesn't know the actual answer. ChatGPT, I'm looking at you. The answer itself is displayed below, along with any related images or videos. If you tap the rerun button, you can rerun the search. Pro users can choose to use different AI tools like Claude or ChatGPT-4, or you can use Copilot. Copilot works with you by asking relevant questions to ensure the best results. For example, it might ask which specific areas of tech I'm interested in, and the search will then focus on those areas. This app is all about getting me the information that I need as efficiently as it can. Free accounts have a limited number of Copilot runs per month, but upgrading to the Pro version provides more access. In my business, I use it to quickly get answers to questions relevant to my videos and my weekly newsletter. Time is money, and when creating content, I need prompt and reliable answers, and so far Perplexity is the best app for this purpose. I run this YouTube business entirely by myself. That means I have to be the video creator, but also the graphic designer, the salesperson, the project manager, the admin assistant. The list goes on. I found it tough to stay on top of everything that this business needs, having to bounce from one piece of software to the next, and that's why I was so excited when Dropbox announced their new Essentials plan. If you run a business by yourself like me, this is going to be a game changer. It's an all-in-one plan that gives you a lot of storage, like you'd expect from Dropbox, 3 terabytes in fact, but it's so much more than that. You get unlimited e-signatures, the ability to transfer files up to 100 gigabytes, powerful PDF editing, and more for only $18 a month. My most used feature is replay. When I've needed to share a video with a client before, I used to just send it and hope for the best. I'd get an email back with a bunch of bullet points on it, and I'd have to make sense of those bullet points to figure out what to change in my video. With replay, my clients can leave timestamped comments on the video itself. They can even draw on it. It's like they're in the room reviewing it with me, so I know exactly what they expect from an edit, cutting my workload down dramatically. Another feature I really like is e-signatures. Getting documents signed used to be both an extra cost to me and an admin headache, as I used to have to rely on a totally separate tool. With unlimited e-signatures, I can prepare, send, and get documents signed with legally binding signatures, including mobile-friendly signing, to make things nice and easy for my clients. The ability to create up to 5 reusable templates makes getting contracts drafted and signing so much quicker. Dropbox Essentials lets you end the constant jumping from app to app and find your focus with everything that you need to run your solo business in one place. If this sounds like something that would benefit your business like it has mine, click the link in the description of this video. So if you can see where this would add value to your business, get started today. I like working from to-do lists because they help me to remember important tasks, but the main issue I have with traditional to-do lists is that they're too linear and don't really help with planning my day effectively. On the other hand, mapping out my entire day on a calendar at the start of each day feels like too much effort and doesn't really work for me either, because you lose the ability to work with tasks. Fortunately, I've found an app called Snipd that combines both methodologies and works really well for me. Snipd is a day planner that allows you to break your day down into small time-based tasks. The app follows a timeline format, showing you what tasks you have later in the day and reminding you of the current task that you're supposed to be working on and the time that you've assigned to it that remains. It also includes task management, allowing you to mark things as completed as you go. Another feature that I really like is that you can use natural language to tell it what your plans are for the day, and it will input everything for you. So for instance, I'd say something like, tomorrow I'm going to get up at 6:30 and work for 90 minutes. Then I'm going to go and help my wife with the kids for an hour. Then I'm going to walk the dog for an hour, and then I'm going to work until 1 p.m. before breaking for lunch. The app would understand all of this and create my day plan. There is a paid version of the app, although most of the key features of this app are available to the free accounts, so it is very much up to you whether you decide to pay for the premium version or not. If you do, you get things like more customization with alerts, the ability to import calendar events, sync with Apple reminders, and a load of different icons that you can use. I've talked a lot about the Reminders app on the iPhone here on the channel. Out of all the stock iPhone apps besides Safari, it is the only one that I consistently use and don't try and find an alternative for. I think that for 99% of people, the Reminders app offers everything that they would need in a Reminders app. The main way that I use Reminders is with Siri. It's honestly the one part of the Apple ecosystem, in my opinion, where it just always works exactly how I need it to, and it's especially useful when I'm away from my desk. For example, I have a reminders list for video ideas and another one for topics that I want to discuss in my newsletter. I have to be able to quickly capture ideas, even if I don't plan on working on them immediately, and this is one area where I use reminders. To do this, you need to know how to request what you want precisely. For example, if I come up with a concept for a video discussing 10 ways that Apple needs to fix Siri in 2024, I would activate Siri and say, add 10 ways that Apple needs to fix Siri in 2024 to my video ideas list. That's it. The idea is added to my list and I can revisit it to expand on it later. So the Reminders app isn't exactly exciting, but it excels at what it does and integrates seamlessly with the entire Apple ecosystem, and that's why I've included it in this list. I enjoy listening to podcasts, but I've always been puzzled by how seemingly busy people manage to listen to so many of them. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, and as a new parent, I understand more than ever how precious time is. This is where Snipd comes in handy. Snipd is a podcast player that lets you highlight interesting parts of a podcast with a simple button tap. While you listen to a podcast through the app, a transcript is created in real time. You can use the snip button to highlight specific parts of the podcast that resonate with you. These snips can be saved with notes or revisited later. But what I really love about Snipd is the community aspect. The more popular a snipped part of a podcast becomes, the more the app uses that information to create highlights and summaries of episodes. For example, I'm a fan of the Diary of a CEO podcast, and I can see that many recent episodes have been snipped hundreds of times already. When I tap into an episode, I can play the entire episode like a regular podcast player or scroll down to view popular snips. I can listen to the audio section of a snip or quickly read the AI-generated summary. Alternatively, I can scroll down further and read the AI-generated summary of the entire podcast. These summaries are also playable and last about 5 minutes each, condensing a 1-hour episode into something you can quickly read while you're having a coffee break. If you mainly listen to podcasts for entertainment, Snipd might not be for you. But if, like me, you want to extract as much information as possible from them as you can, but you don't have loads of time, it's more efficient to listen to 2 or 3 podcasts this way every day instead of trying to listen to entire episodes. The app offers a free plan with limited functionality, but if you want access to all of the features and unlimited usage, consider signing up for the Pro version. If you're anything like me, you probably get your best ideas when you're walking the dog or in the shower. The problem with both of these situations is that unless you capture the idea immediately, it's likely to be gone by the time that you return to your desk. I can't really help you with the shower problem, but when I'm out walking the dog, I use an app called Otter AI to quickly capture voice notes of anything that I think might be useful later on. Let's say that I'm out and I get an idea for a future video. I could open the Voice Memos app on my iPhone and capture audio that way. The problem is that all I have is an audio recording. I'd have to listen to the audio recording in full to extract the information I want. Otter AI solves this problem. It not only captures the audio recording, so I still have the audio file if I want to listen to it later on, but more importantly, it transcribes the audio recording into written text. So at the very least, I have a text version of my idea, which is also searchable. But additionally, it creates an AI-based summary of the transcription. Unlike the transcription, the summary isn't immediate. It may take a few minutes, possibly longer for very long audio pieces, but in my experience, it doesn't take long. It can even transcribe recordings with multiple people talking and assign the dialogue to different individuals. So you could use this to get a transcription of a podcast, for example. For me, this app is all about capturing and storing ideas. If I have to wait until I'm able to grab my phone and type something down every time, there's a good chance that I'll miss something valuable. If you want to use Otter the way that I do, then I believe the free version will be more than sufficient. However, if you plan on using it with a team or for transcribing Zoom calls or long podcasts, for example, you'll need to consider a paid version. When I first wrote the script for this video, I'd included the amazing app Artifact in this list and had made a whole piece about how awesome it is. It's an AI app that lets you summarize any news article into quick bullet points. Well, it was. Sadly, the app closed down between me making this video and actually releasing the video, so I had to find another app to include in the list. Thankfully, I knew exactly which one to pick, and that app is called Annotable. Annotable solves the problem that we all face from time to time of wanting to share or send an image, but having sensitive information on there that we want to get rid of first. With the app opened and an image selected, tap the A button in the bottom right of your screen, and you've got a range of options to choose from. You can crop, which is exactly what you'd expect, but below that is an option to use a magnifying glass to zoom in on a specific area of the image. You can set the magnification at the bottom left, change the thickness of the outline of the annotation as well as the color. Below that is the option to securely blur out any part of your image, either by swiping across text like a highlighter or by casting a rectangle over the area that you want to conceal. Very quickly, you can blur out parts of a bank statement if you've got to send something for proof of ID, for example, or someone's face if you need to. It's all very simple. You have loads of highlighting options and drawing options too, like you'd expect in any good markup tool. This is the markup tool that the built-in markup tool on the iPhone should have been, in that it makes properly annotating your images really quick and easy. It works on iPhone and iPad. It's free to download with a lot of the core functions included, although if you want access to the entire range of functions, you're looking at a one-off fee of $10. Notion is an app that's gained a cult-like following in recent years, and once you start using it, you'll understand why. While it's primarily a note-taking app, it offers so much more. I use Notion as a project management tool for my channel's video creation, to assist with my weekly newsletter and to manage sponsored content. It also serves as a second brain for my personal life, where I store various digital information that I need outside of work. However, it is the AI aspect of Notion that makes it truly valuable for me and my business. For $10 a month, you can access the ChatGPT 3.5 AI feature through Notion. If you want to use it creatively, simply tap the AI button and choose from a variety of prompts to assist you in generating new content. Personally, I use Notion as a personal assistant for dictation. I find it much faster to dictate my scripts into my Mac rather than type it out, even though I'm a fast typist. While dictation on the iPhone and Mac has improved, it's still not reliable, often making mistakes or omitting words. So what I do is dictate into Notion, mistakes and all, and then select the text and use Notion's built-in AI to correct all the mistakes instantly. The effectiveness of this feature lies in its AI capabilities. It doesn't just fix errors based on the text alone, it understands the context of your writing and makes more accurate corrections. You can even use the improve writing function to not only fix mistakes, but also rewrite your text in a more readable manner. While I don't use this feature all the time, it is useful for keeping me on track and getting to the point more quickly. I can be prone to making my scripts too long, and this helps. To use Notion, you'll need a Notion account, which can be a free account. However, to access Notion AI, you'll need to subscribe for $10 a month. Perhaps not a conventional app that you'd expect to be included in a list of productivity apps, as this one doesn't actually let you do anything, but I'm including it because it is one that I use all the time with other apps. I hate working in a silent room, but I find music and the radio way too distracting. For this reason, I really enjoy ambient noise. While some people prefer white noise like a desk fan or rainfall, I personally prefer the sounds of things going on around me, like the ambience of a coffee shop or a busy street. The iPhone App Store is filled with white noise apps, but dark noise is the first app that I found that genuinely offers a good selection of high quality sounds. The app is available on iPhone, iPad, and Mac, and you can sync any changes that you make across all of your Apple devices. Not only that, but if you opt for the premium option, which is £20 per year here in the UK, you gain access to all of the different sounds available, as well as the ability to mix sounds together to create your own soundscapes. So if you enjoy working to the sound of a coffee shop, but think it would be even better with some thunderstorms in the background, you can make that happen using the clever mixing elements of this app. The free version of this app is likely enough for most people, especially if you're happy with the handful of regular sounds that are available. Email apps that help declutter your inbox aren't exactly new. They've been around for a while now. If you use tools like the VIP list in the stock mail app intelligently, you may not even need them. Spark Email is a replacement app for the mail app that excels at organizing your inbox and prioritizing important emails. But what sets Spark apart for me is its recent integration with AI. While many apps are integrating AI these days, Spark's AI integration is amazing. How often do you receive lengthy emails where you just need to get to the key points? Or how often are you CC'd into a long conversation and need to quickly catch up? This is where Spark shines. With a simple tap of the AI button, the app can create a summary of the entire email or even conversation for you. You can even set it to automatically summarize emails from specific senders, which is how I tend to use it. Replying to emails is made quick and easy with AI as well. Depending on your needs, you can choose from preset options to compose a reply or input a prompt for AI to generate a response. Alternatively, you can write your reply manually and use AI to proofread and condense your email into a polished message, which is what I tend to use it for. It saves me having to write in something like Notion and then copy and paste it across. Spark is one of the pricier email apps with a monthly cost of $5 if you pay for a full year upfront or $8 if you choose to pay monthly. While there is a free version available, it is limited and doesn't include the AI features or inbox prioritization. So having all of these tools on your iPhone is all well and good, but what if you can't get yourself off of the other apps that aren't so productive? Our phones constantly receive notifications, and while we can use features like focus mode to limit them, there is a more effective way to stay focused and be productive. The Pomodoro technique has been around for a long time. It's a simple concept: work in 25-minute increments followed by a 5-minute break. The rule is to stay laser focused during those 25 minutes. If you stop working, even for just a moment, you have to start the Pomodoro again. I've been using this technique for years, and it really does work. Forest is an app that takes the Pomodoro technique to the next level using gamification. While the motivation to get work done should be enough for most people, this app provides additional inspiration. When you start a Pomodoro session, you see a sapling on the screen. Each completed session allows your tree to grow and be planted in your virtual forest. But if you leave the app during a session to go and check out Instagram maybe, your tree dies and can't be added to your forest. It's that simple. As a bonus, you earn virtual coins for completing focus sessions. The app has partnered with a real tree planting organization called Trees for the Future, allowing users to spend their virtual currency on planting real trees in the physical world. So not only are you getting your own work done, but you're also helping to make the real world that little bit better. While this app is more lighthearted compared to others featured in this video, it genuinely helps me to stay focused and productive. So I believe it deserves a place in a productivity video. So there you go, 10 iPhone apps that I use to get way more done for my business and stay ultra productive. What do you think? Any apps that I've missed from this list? Drop me a comment and let me know. And as ever, if you found this video useful, do please consider leaving me a like and subscribing to my channel for more content like this in the future. See you on the next video.